So hello everybody. We've just heard from Hugh on how we need to up our game in e-commerce. And one way in which we can do so is by generating experiences that resonate effectively with our consumers. So my name's Chloe and today I'm going to be talking to you briefly about mindset-driven purchasing and the female shopper. Now some of you sat here are probably going to think, well, she's going to be a bit biased here, but women are actually incredibly important when it comes to commerce. We make around 85% of all purchasing decisions across industry sectors, and what's more, we're not only purchasing for ourselves, for our husbands, our partners, children, families, the list could go on. But is this truly reflected in current e-commerce experiences? And how many of you here can truthfully say whether you know that the customer that falls onto your site is male or female? Well, as a woman myself, I'd argue that not all brands are taking this into consideration. And to be honest, that's pretty surprising, given that women spend over $150 billion annually. And as well as this, we're seeing a huge push towards female empowerment within mainstream advertising, mainstream media, and also noticing differences in the bricks and mortar experience. Let's take Nike as a great example. They have a women's only store situated on the King's Road in the affluent borough of Chelsea. Now inside, style plays a central role within the space and they offer bespoke services, clearly giving their female consumers what they want, when they want, and how they want. And now this needs to be reflected into your digital destinations. So I think it's about time that we all woke up and realised that male and female consumers are different and behave differently when it comes to purchasing. So we're currently living in a world where the majority of products and experiences are being designed by men, irrespective of the target audience. Well, it's now time for change. You need to start designing with your female consumer in mind, and you need to start doing this now. But some of you are probably sat here quite rightly thinking, well, gender's not so binary anymore. And I'm sure you've all heard of the term gender fluidity, which is causing many implications for retailers. If gender's going to be less binary, then really so should retail. Well, yes, you're absolutely right. And that's why we're looking at the concept of mindset-driven purchasing. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all of the science today, but there are some psychological studies that demonstrate two different behavioural mindsets, namely the utilitarian mindset, focusing on task-oriented and rational behaviour, commonly associated with the male consumer. And then there's the hedonic mindset, which focuses on the emotion, the pleasure, and the enjoyment of the overall shopping experience. And this is most commonly associated with the female shopper. Now, that's definitely not to say that these mindsets cannot overlap, but for the purpose of this presentation, note that when I'm talking about the female shopper, I'm referring to those shoppers who hold a hedonic mindset. So taking that all into consideration, let's take a look at how female shoppers behave. Now, I've highlighted a few key characteristics. Firstly, us females are quite tactile. We enjoy a sensual experience, which includes feeling the fabric, seeing how items are going to fit into a look, and gaining the point of view of our peers. As well as this, we typically spend more time online as we enjoy exploring websites and sifting through lifestyle-focused editorial content. As well as this, we're particularly thorough when it comes to our decision-making. We tend to know what we want, but we want to make the right decisions, and that's why 91% conduct online research before making a purchase. Now, that could involve anything from comparing products, reading reviews, or even asking for additional information, all of which are providing us with the reassurance that we're going to be making the right decision. And finally, female shoppers are quite heavily socially influenced browsers, whether this be on social media itself or within social interactions if the shopping experience is being carried out in store. In fact, we're 1.5 times more likely to make purchases based on a social media post than our male counterparts. However, creating products and experiences to resonate with your female shoppers is definitely not about just making everything pink, adding fake eyelashes, making everything just seem quite cute and fluffy. So let's take a look at what this could mean for you and your e-commerce. Now, of course, there's numerous different features that you could explore, but I've highlighted 4 key areas that I think will help you to engage more effectively with your female shopper. Firstly, look and feel is incredibly important in order to connect with your female shopper's emotions. So using beautiful lifestyle imagery throughout your site is essential. Now you could use features such as curated photo collections or perhaps close-up images of your items on real people in order to foster the feeling of inspiration and engage your shopper. This means you're going to need to start thinking about how your items are going to be grouped together on your site, what they look like in a complete collection, and what type of people are being chosen as brand ambassadors to showcase your items. As well as this, it's incredibly important to include trustworthy user reviews and opinions throughout your site, particularly on your product description pages. As I mentioned previously, us females, we want the reassurance that we're making the right decision. In fact, 82% stated that they would wish to see at least 3 user reviews when they are undertaking the decision-making process. As well as this, 55% shop with a brand whom they interact with on social media. So including social links to your most relevant and most cited channel could prove incredibly beneficial. Now, ASOS are an example of someone who do this incredibly well with their #AsSeenOnMe feature, which not only encourages community collaboration through peer feedback and reviews, but also through the gem that is user-generated content. And in fact, we're seeing huge benefits throughout our client base. DFS reported a 40% increase in conversion from those consumers who interacted with the user-generated content that's been pulled in from their Instagram and is displayed on their site. And finally, female shoppers shop when they feel inspired. So why don't we just give them the content that's going to do just that? Net-a-Porter's online magazine, The Edit, is a prime example of a luxury retailer who is clearly resonating with their female shoppers' needs, providing them with ample content to immerse themselves within the brand, helping to increase dwell time and thus encourage purchase. This means you're going to need to start thinking about your editorial strategy more carefully. Ensure that you're talking about those products, those items, those people that resonate with your female shoppers. And in fact, it's a prime opportunity to start thinking about or even enhance your current influencer marketing strategy. So thanks, Chloe, that sounds great, but it also sounds like a lot of time, a lot of effort, and probably a lot of investment. So should I really be bothering, and is it going to be worth it? Well, put simply, the answer is yes, of course it is. With women making 85% of all purchasing decisions, that is a huge proportion of the market share. So surely it's an absolute no-brainer. Giving your female shoppers what they want, when they want, and how they want is likely to help increase dwell time, increase conversion, increase repeat purchasing, and increase brand and service loyalty, all of which is going to help you to sell more online and generate more revenue. So women are representing perhaps one of the largest disruptive forces today, yet I think it's fair to say that the majority of the business world is currently unprepared. With the female economy being perhaps one of the largest untapped markets, if you don't want to sell more online or generate more revenue, then continue to operate as you are and ignore the rule of your female shopper. But if you do, then you need to listen and you need to do something about it now.